unfortunate situation. Let's get the mic set. Let's get the stats in front of us. We got U of H 17, UTSA 14. They beat us. Simple as that. So, obviously not happy about that. I definitely did not expect that outcome, but I want to be a little bit patient for some folks to get on here. I know it's right after the game, and we got some folks that are going to transition to us, but this is bad. This is not a great beginning to a season where I think we are all expecting us to have a great season and expecting us to propel forward, and this was not great. I'm going to pull my notes up, and make sure you guys leave some notes in the comments that will really help out this chat here. There's a lot of folks that are very expressive after this game already, and the game has been over for a couple of minutes. I have my own notes here that I'm going to go through, but it would be great if you guys can leave some notes in the chat so we can cover those. So I am going to do a couple hits on Twitter, and then I am going to push forward into the chat. I have a lot to go over here. This is just not great. Not great. Not happy about what's happening here. Let's get set up. Let's do this tweet and get right into it. All right. That's enough marketing on Twitter for me. So, listen, the thing that I'm most concerned about, I'll just go through my notes first because I thought that we would run through this team, quite frankly. Us losing to them 14-17, not great, not a great result, especially when they had a quarterback who was trying to figure out his team. He wasn't comfortable throwing the ball to anybody, right? He wasn't in a rhythm. It concerns me because he is a quarterback who is coming from another program. This was his first game. And like I said in the podcast leading up to this, I spoke about a new quarterback being in this particular position and having trouble early figuring it out. And I think he had those issues. But guess what? We had the same issues. Frank Harris has been here for 7 years. Joshua Cephas has been here for a while. Taki Ola Kellogg has been here for a long time. Kavorian Barnes came in last season and was a prominent figure for us. And he's now our starting quarterback. Starting running back, we're in at number 4, and we got no improvement. So the problem I'm looking at right now is in this first game, I'll say this first game, I am not going to write us off yet, and I'm not trying to write us off, but in this first game, we showed no improvement. We played a team that we should have dog-walked, respectfully. And I say that because we are the team that came in with experience, and they did not. They did not have experience. They got a brand new team for the most part. Our defense is the same defense we had last year. Our offense is a similar offense that we had last year. Outside of Zachary Franklin. Everybody on Twitter today was talking about Zachary Franklin. We didn't need him. We had the opportunities to put more than 14 points on the board. That's not a Zachary Franklin problem. It's not. It's not a Zachary Franklin problem. So, that narrative that people are pulling up right now, it's not a Zachary Franklin. And I'm looking at the chat right now. Frank Harris should have retired. That's from the Gaming Altar. We got Renato LeDuc. He says Houston defense was just good. I think we missed Franklin. I think we lost the game. Listen, I'll be honest with you. So, to the Gaming Altar, Frank Harris should have retired is a joke, bro. Regardless of what you say, he's still one of the best players in the country. He's still one of the best players in the country. I don't want to hear that. Sometimes it comes down to a game plan and execution. They did not execute. He didn't execute either. He didn't have a great game. Period. So it's not. I don't think he's in a situation where he needs to go. You know what I mean? Like, he's not in that situation. They just didn't have what it took tonight to propel them beyond Houston. That's the issue. We go to Houston defense was just good. Listen, to be fair, Houston did play relatively good defense. But if you go back and look at that game, UTSA missed so many chances. We missed so many chances. There were so many times where Frank scrambled out to the side and could have ran for the first down. What was up with that? What's up with that? Listen, I can't look at that game objectively, and that's the reason why I am so expressive right now, and I'm so frustrated. I feel like we were the better team. UTSA is a overall better team than Houston, in my humble opinion. And you can take that for what it's worth. I could be biased. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But when I watch those two teams, I think UTSA is the better team. However, Houston executed in the second half better than we did. And at the end of the day, that's going to win you football games. That's a problem. Especially when you consider the fact that we had the more veteran team. That's a problem. I can't fuck with that. That pisses me off, quite frankly. Let's go back into some of the other chats. So we got Ronaldo saying, yeah, Harris is good. We got, hey, we can hear your echo. Is that on purpose? I am so sorry if y'all can hear my echo. I do not know what that is. Just bear with me on it. I'll try to get it solved in the next one. Let's see. We got defense kept us in the game. Eddie is not better. Come on now. We got Alyssa Gonzalez says, people doom tweeting after one game is insane. You can tell they weren't here for the Wilson era. Yeah, I agree with that. Listen, I think that for the Wilson era, we were better. I think Wilson had no offensive plan and that sort of thing. But considering that Jeff Traylor is someone who has an offensive mindset and has been someone who has built his legacy, his foundation off of having a powerful offensive team here at UTSA, I think it's a little bit alarming considering that we couldn't move the ball against a defense like U of H. Their defense was not great. Period. It wasn't. And I credit them for having some success, but their defense wasn't good. Also, to be fair, and I'll get into some of this later, but the refs weren't great either. And I know the ref side of things is going to play into my bias, but I don't give a shit. I think the refs were not great in this game as well. But ultimately, I don't think the refs is why we lost the game. I think we is why we lost the game. We have to be more prolific on offense. We have to be more careful with the ball. And Frank got to do better. That's period. He has to be better. Frank is an all-world player. He is a phenomenal player. He's the best offensive player and the offensive weapon and possibly the best player that's ever come to UTSA. We need better. You're in your 7th year. and I'm not trying to put pressure on him, but it's just a reality. We are going to go as far as Frank takes us. And right now, not great. Let's go to the next one. We got Tommy West. I'm worried about the OC. 2-game sample is not great. Yeah, I'm worried about the OC too. I am not going. It's been one game, so I'm not going to trip. I don't think he did a bad job. I think he was aggressive. I think we should run the ball a little bit more because I do believe Kavorian Barnes is that talented. But I don't know. I'm not as mad at his play calling, but I think that we have to take the running game more serious. I've been talking about this for a while now. Kavorian Barnes is a top running back, in my opinion, from a talent standpoint in the country. We should be getting him the ball in spaces where he likes it, not just random spaces where you're just picking anything up, right? We need to make sure that he is being fed properly. And I don't know if we did that this game. I think that let me take a look at the stats here. Let's see. I don't think Kavorian Barnes got as many touches as he should have. Period. And he clearly didn't get the let's see. Kavorian Barnes, wow. He has 16 carries for 103 yards. What's funny about that is I was about to go on a rant about how much he didn't get the ball and he didn't do well. 16 carries for 103 yards. The stats suggest that he done well. Can we please increase that to 14 carries more? We were an offense that struggled to score the ball. We had something that works well. He averaged 6.4 yards a carry. Can we get him the ball? 16 carries is not enough for someone who was averaging 6.4 yards a touch. He's averaging 6.4 yards a touch. Can we give him the ball more? Please? Please? He had 1 catch for 4 yards. But in terms of running, 16 carries, 103 yards, 6.4 yards was his average, 1 touchdown. Got to do better there. Not from him, but from the play callers. Get him the ball. We should not have lost to this Houston team, 14-17. We got a player who went over 100 yards on 16 carries, and we lose because we can only score 2 touchdowns. Frank Harris, 3 picks. Can't happen. No. We can't win that way. We miss it. Listen, it's obvious. We're missing J.T. Clark. He didn't play. Joshua Cephas came in, 9 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. After that, we got Houston Thomas, tight end. Well, I think he's a tight end, but Houston Thomas, regardless, 1 catch, 20 yards. Dan Dishman, 1 catch, 17. Tyke Kellogg, 3 catches, 16 yards. Chris Carpenter, listen, to be fair, there's somebody who came for me in the comments. Chris Carpenter is who I said will break out as the UTSA new receiver. 1 catch, 16 yards. Yeah, I'm eating shit right now. I believe in the kid. I think he's talented, but yeah, it's not great. Not a great situation to be in. Not. So listen. I think that UTSA. You know what? Before I get into this, I'm going to go into some of the other chats. We got a lot of chats here. So we got UTSA penalties and the pick lost us the game. 100%, Melissa. Melissa Gutierrez, 100%. Penalties are bullshit. Penalties is bullshit, and to be fair, some of them, we deserve them. We deserve some. Listen, I am not going to be the person that is just going to openly cut for us, even if we're wrong. We're wrong. Some of those penalties we screwed up on. Next comment here is from Melissa Gonzalez. Don't forget the refs. Yeah, I talked about that before. Thoughts on David Amador's debut? I thought it was fine. I don't think we can bench Frank, though. Yeah, I'm not trying to bench Frank. Of course not. We can't. We're paying him money. We're paying him a lot of money. You know what I mean? We're paying him a lot of money relative to what UTSA pays players. I was able to get some insight on what some of these players are making. Frank is getting some money. In my opinion, he should be getting more, but he's getting some good money. You know what I mean? But he should be getting more. Quite frankly, that's a problem. We cannot bench him. He's a legend at the team. He's a legend at the university. Talking about benching him is a joke. I don't even want to discuss that. Barnes is really good for real from the same guy, Renato Leduc. Yeah, he's legit. Kavorian Barnes is legit. I've said it on a podcast before, and even on this one. He's one of the best running backs in the country, 100%. Why did we give him the ball 16 times is insane. Insane. Think about this. Before, I don't want to get too crazy with this, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Here. We got Kavorian Barnes, who in my opinion right now is the second or third most. So let's if we exclude Frank, right? Frank's the quarterback, so he's a distributor to the running backs and the receivers. If you look at the weapons he has at his disposal, right now, Kavorian Barnes, you can make his case he's number one. You got him, Joshua Cephas. You got an injured J.T. Clark. You gave Kavorian Barnes at the running back position 16 carries. He went for 103 in a tutty. I do more. Don't get me wrong. You had Joshua Cephas do well also. But guys, we got to make sure we're doing our thing here. So next one, this one from Joshua. Can't really bench Frank. Our subs suck, and the next option is a freshman wide receiver. I agree with that. We can't bench our subs at this point. Joshua comments again. Barnes is cold, but they don't utilize him that much. I agree. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point, Joshua. I think you have a great point here. The point to me is, you got a player that good, give him the fucking ball more than 16 times. What are we doing? Let's scroll down. We got Henry's a great power back. Not interested. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one. CTB 1256. UTSA had a tremendous run defense and an amazing run game. Game was too close for us, having 3 interceptions second my head. Yeah, can't have the turnovers, bro. For a veteran quarterback like that, can't have it. I am not going to sit here and trash Frank Harris. I understand the pressure that he's in. I understand who he is as a player. I understand the legend status that he has as a player. It's the first game of the season. Although I'm pissed and I'm emotional about what's going on, I am not going to overreact toward him because he showed us that he's him. So I'm going to leave it there. All right, next one we have from Renato again. It's almost a guarantee you'll lose with 3 picks. I agree. We got Derek. I'm sorry, guys. I am fucking blind almost, so it may take me some time to read some of these. But, all right, we got Derek Canoe. He says, I support my Roadrunners through the thick and thin. On to the next game, we'll get better. Listen, I agree with that, too. I think we'll get better in the next game. This was a game that we should have won, though. I am not going to let us off the hook for that. We were the better team, 100%. They had a quarterback who was new to the situation. They had a quarterback who was learning his receivers and the people that he has in the skill position areas that could give him an opportunity to succeed. He was in a learning phase. We lost to that. And here's the thing. I'm okay with our defense giving up 17 points. I actually said whenever I gave my score prediction that we'd win, I think 38-24 or something like that. I thought Houston would eventually score points. But we held them to 17 points, which is phenomenal. What surprised me was the inefficiency from an offense that has a lot of players who have been there for years. Frank's been there for years. Cephas been there for years. What are we doing? Come on. We got to win games like this. If we want to separate ourselves and be a team and a football program that can reach the levels that I feel like we are at, we have to win games like this. Come on. All right. The next one we go to Joe Trovius. He says Frank played horrible, but the rest were terrible. Frank didn't play horrible, but it wasn't great. It was not his best performance. I agree with that 100%. I don't want to go as horrible because I understand the pressure that he's under. It's the first game back. I'm going to give him a little bit of grace. I am not going to be as graceful in the next couple games, but right now I am not going to shit on him at this particular point in time. All right, we go to Joshua here. He says, for only being in the game for 12 years, UTSA is really good. Sadly, I don't see anyone very big seeing UTSA at a good place to go. I see it being another USF. Have you been to UTSA? That's the question I have. Have you been to the campus? I'll tell you this. Now, this is years ago. It's sad that I'm old now, but I came to UTSA. I went to UTSA in 2010. That's when I committed and the original 18 was formed. Half the reason that I committed to UTSA was because of the living conditions. There was apartments for freshmen, basically, and they were nice. Some of the other schools I went to, UTEP, Sam Houston, Louisiana Monroe, and I had a few others, but those are the ones that come to mind quickly. The living conditions were not the same. UTSA is a good school to go to, man. I went there, and I obviously have my biases, but miss me with that shit. Next one, Frank was crying at the end of the game. I hope not. There's going to be more games where it's bullshit this season. I don't think we're the best team in the country, but I think we're good enough. And there's going to be we have a hard schedule. We have a hard schedule. A lot of people look at some of the names and look at some of the teams we've already played that we have sunned and think that we have this huge advantage. And I'm not saying we don't. But let's have respect for these teams that we're playing. You get what I'm saying? We need to have respect for these teams. It is not easy. I felt very strong about us beating Houston, but guess what? We weren't ready to win. We lost to Houston. There you go. So anyway, let's have respect for some of these teams. Last one from Joshua. He says, I think there's no different. I think there is no off-season parts of uni. Just makes it mad insane because they can do anything team-wise over the semester. Sorry, Joshua. I don't know what you're talking about here. But, yeah, we'll be fine. It's the first game, but, it is what it is. I'm going to roll into some of the questions that we had prior to. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and we're going to go from there. Let me, before I get into some of the questions that I already have, I am indeed going to send a share to the Twitter right now and make sure people are watching. If you got anybody who isn't, make sure you make them do it. We're having a good time here, right? Let's get this squared away really quick. We are live. I have a ton of questions to go through. And we'll get to them here in a second. All right, there we go. So, let's get to the questions here. So, or you know what? I'll go to what some of my notes was. I want to give you guys my notes. So, in the we had a slow start to the game, which is something that I didn't expect. So, at the end of the day, like whenever I looked at my prediction and what I thought would happen in the game, I thought we'd be the ones that come out firing quickly. We did score early touchdown, but if you think about what went on in that game, we scored 14 points ultimately. With the quarterback who's been here for 7 years. Not great. Not great. And some of the receivers, he has chemistry with those guys. Chris Carpenter was here last year. Joshua Steve has been here for years. He's been a prominent player. Tyke Kellogg has been in the program for years. Came in similar time to Frank. He's been here for a long time. We didn't show the chemistry we had. Period. And I thought that would be a big factor into why we win that game. We didn't win it. And I think some of that has something to do with it. So, not great. Not great. It doesn't give me a lot of confidence going forward, but I believe in the runners. I am confident. I'm going to back the head coach. I'm going to back the folks in the front office. I'm going to back the players. The people in the front office, I don't give a shit what spin you guys do. We need better. That's what I'll say. And this is me coming with a little bit of insight and me hearing from some of the folks that are donors and some of the important folks around the program. We need better from you guys. So, I'll exclude you guys, but we need better. I won't exclude y'all. Y'all need to do better than even some of the other folks who are doing a good job. But anyway, let's go to the next one. My next note, I'm reading you guys my notes from the game here. Before I get to some of the comments we had, one of my notes was the quick tempo that we did to combat the pass rush. We stopped that. One of the adjustments that we made in the first half, when we were struggling with some of the pass rush, we start going quick tempo. We start moving the ball downfield. We turned the ball over obviously a couple times, but that was a successful recipe for us. Moving the ball fast, getting the ball out quickly, and getting the ball in our playmakers' hand. We stopped that early. And then we start playing into the game that the opposing team was playing. That wasn't great. All right, I'll transition now to some of the questions we got. So we got from, let's see, Jotrovius. He says, Texas State beating Baylor, opinion? Fuck no. I know Texas State had themselves a good night, but no. In fact, I'm not even going to waste time. No. Appreciate the question, but no. Next one. My brother Aniz. Situational play calling was questionable in my opinion. I agree 100%. There was too many times where I feel like coach made the decision that we were going to go for it on fourth down. And, that don't mean you waste the play and you just run the ball when they got the line stacked. You feel me? You shouldn't run the ball when they got the line stacked. So, on some of these third and sixes and third and sevens, it's okay, it's cool if you're going to go for it on fourth down, but can we get a better play call? Didn't like that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and like this video. We're trying to get to that milestone of 500. Your subscription would be great. All right, next question here. We're going with Ronald Green. He says, there were some missed calls, but shouldn't be in that position. We'll need to get better playing a Texas State team that just put up 42 on Baylor. Okay, so damn, they beat Baylor? Okay. I'm being educated by my audience. Hold up. Texas State beat Baylor. Baylor's not great, but what? Oh my God, that's not. Oh, they beat Baylor. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I appreciate you, Joshua or Jotrovius for letting me know that. Yeah, I am not happy about that. We gotta win. We can't afford to go 0-2. It screws the season up. It screws up the momentum. We are a better team. We were a better team than Houston, in my opinion. I have not watched film. I'll give that to you guys later in the week. But I have not yet watched film on of Texas State, so I don't have context on what they did against Baylor. I don't know how bad Baylor is, but that's worrisome. That's worrisome. If they're good enough to beat a team like that, and we aren't good enough to beat a U of H team that we're better than, I don't know. Not great. I'll just leave it there. Let's see. Hanato says LeDuc will beat Texas State for sure. I hope you're right. Let's see. CTB 1256 Texas State could be a trap game for y'all. Okay, this must be a U of H guy. Oh, I see his thing. Okay. His icon. We have a UH player or person or supporter in our chat here, which is fine. I welcome everyone. He says, yeah, Texas. Listen, Texas State beating Baylor. You're right though. Like I'm not going to ignore your point here. They could be a trap game for us, 100%. Like maybe they're better than what we thought. I just think of. Listen, and my UTSA brethren will understand this. Texas State will always be, or will always be superior to them in my mind, in my heart. So it is hard to me to wrap my head around Texas State beating us, but them beating Baylor and them having an improved team worries me a bit. I'll get into it. I don't want to spoil some of what we got coming up this week, but yeah, that's worrisome. Next one is we got from the same guy. Baylor has been overrated though. 6-6, a bowl game loss against Army. They aren't all that great. I'm with you there. Let's see. Mike Munez says they look Cardenas. Oh, they took Cardenas out of the scheme. It seems. Yeah, listen. Not much involvement for Big Oscar, bro. What we doing there? You know what I mean? Like, he to me is someone that has to be involved, and he can always be a decoy because he's so big. A lot of teams aren't going to game plan around him beating people in man coverage because of how big he is. You know what I mean? They're not going to do that. So, like, he's someone that should definitely be considered in the pass game. I don't expect him to have 10 catches, 7 catches, or anything like that. But 3 or 4 catches for him should be nice because they should be sneaky. They should be sneaky because he's big enough to be an extra blocker, and you should be using him as an extra blocker for the most part. However, whenever you're ready to decoy him out, it should be great off of play action. And sometimes on the drop back, you got a guy who they're not going to pay too much attention to that's 270 pounds. Throw him the fucking ball. So I'm with you, my guy, Mike Munez. We got to get that guy the ball. And it's not that I need him as the individual to get the ball the most. I need the offense to be flowing enough to where we have the option to give him the ball when necessary. So let's go. Let's see. We got CTB, the Houston fan, Texas State. Be a trap game. We got Baylor's been overrated. Okay, let's see. Air Force. I don't know what he's talking about there. Let's see. Ronald Green. I watched the game from Iraq. Shouts to you, bro, from watching this shit from Iraq. Shouts to you, my man. But I will be home and in section 114 for the next 2 games. Need our offense to wake up. 100%, bro. We got to have our offense to wake up. 1,000%. If the offense does not wake up, we're going to be in shit. If our offense played even decently well, we won this game. The defense held them to 17 points. 17 points they held them. We got to win this. We're playing a team. We beat Houston. We'd have been ranked, I think, after this. We dropped the ball there. Offensively, we got players who are the best in the country. We cannot lose these games. We cannot lose these games. We're down 0-1 already. Not great. Not great. These aren't games that we should be losing, in my humble opinion. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Gonna be doing this every single week. But without you guys' help, it's gonna be tough. Please subscribe to the channel right now. Click that notification bell. We're going to push forward. Still got a lot more questions to go, but just wanted to put that in there. So, Let's go to after Ronald. He says we got Hanato back in. He says once we get Clark, everything will open up. I agree with you to an extent. 100%. I agree with that to an extent, but I also don't think that he's the savior. We got to have better play calling. We got to utilize our running game. We got a Kavorian Barnes who was a freshman All-American. What the fuck are we doing? This is Roadrunners Unfiltered. I'm not here to fuck about. Listen, we should be in a situation. We have too many weapons to be playing around scoring 14 on a fucking U of H defense. A U of H defense? We're better than that. We're UTSA. We should have expectations, in my opinion. Period. We should score more than 14 points against a U of H defense. 100%. Like I said, I'm not calling anybody specifically out, but fuck me, man. Jesus. 14 points against a U of H defense. Come on, bro. Hanato, you're right. We'll be okay. Hanato, our defense is good as fuck. I agree. Like I said, I projected them to score 24 points. Anytime you have a Houston offense, they hire people that can put up points. That's in their DNA. That's what they do. So us holding them to 17 is phenomenal. But us scoring 14 is a fucking joke. Sure, one is unfiltered. I'm going to say what I want. All right. Mike Munez says, special teams wasn't as automatic as it. No! The fuck was that about, right? Good call out, Mike Munez. Great call out. What is that? What are we doing here? We're giving up big returns. We're not capitalizing on 3 points. And listen. Coach Schrader going for it on some of those fourth downs or on some of those situations and not punting or not kicking the field goal shows what he believes. Not great. Not a great situation. Not a great. Listen, I think we're still going to do well. I think I'm sticking to my 10-2, but like this game pissed me off because we were better. Call me biased. We were better than that team. Listen, drop in the comments if you think I'm bullshitting. But I think we're better than this team. I think 100% we're better than this team. All right? So I want to get through some of my thoughts. I think I've caught up on the comments from you guys. So one of my thoughts here was about the O-line having a hard time in the second quarter. And one of the holding calls, it gave a possession where we had 18 yards to go on the third down. And basically it's not great for us in that situation. Yeah, like offensive line has to be better. They start to get better at the end of the season. I understand we lose people and that sort of thing, but we got to be better. We got to protect our quarterback. That right there is going to give. To be fair, they did in a lot of situations that we didn't do good at, but like they still have to be more consistent. Come on, guys. 100%. In the second half, I wrote embarrassing from Frank, which led to a long-range game. Yeah, that was one of the interceptions. We can't give the ball up. We have a difficult schedule, and we cannot. This was a team we're supposed to beat. We got to beat this team. This is a team we're supposed to beat. We can't lose to this squad here. You know what I mean? Can't. Unacceptable. And I'm only saying this because I rate us very high. And I think we are that type of team. I really do. And we just aren't showing it right now. That's the ultimate problem. We aren't showing that we're one of the top teams in the country. That's the issue. We got to show that we're those guys. We didn't show it tonight. It's a problem. I think we got to get more active in the transfer, in the transfer portal, 100%. I look at Colorado and what Dion and them did. Come on, bro. Come on now. We got to be better. We need to be in a position where we can do some of that shit too. And some of that goes to the AD. And listen, this is not going to be a pod about the AD or anything like that. Listen, I've gotten a lot of shit about that over the last few years. Or I said years. Over the last few weeks. I don't care. I don't. Genuinely, I don't. I want what's best for the program. Period. That's what I want. And if some of you guys want to do the AD's bidding, go for it. I don't give a shit. I genuinely don't care. I am not one of these people that are part of some of these other podcasts who gives a shit about some of that. Like, I don't. No. Why? I played there. I don't have to test my loyalty at all. It is what it is. I am going to love the Roadrunners until I can't. Right? But I think we still need more from everybody involved from there. And I don't listen, I agree. I actually agree with people when they talk about they don't want to go there. They don't want to go to the negative side of the spectrum, considering what's coming up in our season. I agree with that. But like, there's been a whole bunch of mud being slanged our way that I just cannot fuck with. And I won't succumb to it. So anyway. Going back to some of the other things that happened to the game, let's see. We got, in the second half, no, I'm sorry, we got Savages on defense. Yes, I definitely was happy about what we did on defense. I think we swarmed to the ball well. That's important. It's important for us to do that. It's important for us to show our presence there. And I think we did that very well, and I think that showed itself. And we got to continue to do that 100%. But our offense has to come on with this too. U of H is never known for a good defense. We should have shredded that defense. Once I do some of the film study, I'm probably going to gear it towards opportunities that we missed. If you guys have a particular player or two that you guys are curious at what we missed on, please shoot it to our DM, shoot it to the page at all, and I'll be sure to break it down. But, like, we fucked up so much, and it's bad. All right, we got Ronald Green back in. He says, because of the loss, we won't see a top 25 rank until late in the season, and that is only if we win the remainder of the games with the exception of Tennessee. Listen, Ronald, I don't disagree with that. I think you make a great point here. I think this is our opportunity to get a ranked spot early. So I don't think you're wrong about that in particular. I just think that I don't give a shit. I don't care what our ranking is. If we win every conference game, I'll be happy with that. I don't care. Listen, people came for me when I said I wanted to see us get a bowl game over everything. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I want us to get a bowl game. We need a bowl game. That would be excellent, in my opinion. A bowl game. Like some people, a lot of people, and I understand the merit behind winning the AAC championship. Of course, I want to do that, but I think a bowl game for our program would be fucking huge. It would be huge, and I'm ready to see that. I'm ready to see the reaction from that. I'm ready to see the fan support. I'm ready to see the city get behind the program. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I want a bowl game victory. All right. Go back to Ronald. My man Ronald is on fire tonight. He says inside defense was great. Nick Troy's game wasn't that great. I agree. 100%. I am a little biased against corners, so I'm going to let him make it for the night. But, yeah, it wasn't great. You're right. Wasn't great. He says, need a bowl win. 100%. It's exactly what I talked about, Ronald. Exactly what I talked about, my bro. I think that a bowl win would be huge for the program. I know I've said some things that people don't like about, like, hey, we should win. We should focus on winning the AAC. Listen, that's great, but we've won a conference before. We have not won a bowl game. And people say, well, like, we can go 6-6 or 5-6 or something and win a bowl game. I don't give a shit. I'm not talking about that. I'll obviously not be happy if we went 6-6 in a season where I think we should probably win 10 games. I'll be disappointed if we won a bowl game off of that. But like, we won a bowl game off of 9-victory season. Sign me up. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. We need to break that barrier as a program and as a team. As UTSA, that's a barrier we should break. Let's get behind that, 100%. All right. Mike Munez says Frank didn't look comfortable back there. Not sure if that this was pressure or just mechanics, but some of those passes were just bad. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I can't say he didn't look comfortable. I think he did. I think there's a couple things that has to go to it. I think there's rust they have to dust off in general. They gotta understand, like, this kid is a grown ass man now. Class is not a serious thing for him. He's doing us a favor by coming back. That's one of the things that I've always been worried about is, like, considering the fact that he is doing us such a big favor of coming back, like, he doesn't need UTSA right now. Well, I don't know. Financially, the NIL could, like, potentially change that. But I'm just talking about, like, on the field. He don't really need NIL or UTSA. He can do what the fuck he wants. He's broke all the records already. However, if he's walking into the season with that same mindset that he is the big shit and everything revolves around him and he's not humble enough to put some of that behind him and do his thing, then yes, I could see it impacting this play. But I don't think it impacted his play today. I genuinely thought. I don't think he, listen, you can't throw interceptions and things like that, but I don't think he played an awful game. I think that a play here, play there, if they go right, we're right in the midst of it. We only lost by 3 points against a team that we were way better than. And that's the part that pisses me off. We're way better than them, and they beat us. So, anyway. Weird situation. So we got Aiden Suarez says, I feel like the running back depth is pretty good. I agree with you, bro. We don't use it. That's the problem. We don't use it. We got to use the running back depth. Right? We got to use it. We got, like I've been saying this shit for months at this point. Kavorian Boyles is one of the best backs in the nation. 16 carries, 103 in a tutty. I felt like he wasn't involved tonight. Not enough. You feel me? Not enough. Bro, gotta be better. Gotta be better. I'm gonna go through my notes on some of the other comments we got before we check out. Let's see. I'm gonna look at my UTSA Original 18 chat, see what we got. The defense held it down. There's some pissed off guys, so I'm not going to put them out there. The defense. Just giving you guys insight on the original team. People are happy with the defense. But ultimately, we look terrible. I'll go there. High standards, folks. We gotta do better than this. 100%. All right. Last couple things. So, ultimately, I think that. Pioneer comes in before I get. We got 2 more. So 3 picks and a missed field goals, and we only lost by 3. Thank you, Pioneer. I agree with you, bro. Or sis. I agree with you here. We should have won a game. Like, don't get this twisted. Don't get my criticism and frustration twisted. We should have won, bro. 100%. We should have won a game. But we didn't win the game. And sometimes it doesn't come down to talent. It comes down to execution. It comes down to play calling. It comes down to other shit. But we didn't win the game. Can't happen. Ronald Green says, gotta use running game better. Like you said earlier, don't run into a stacked defense. Need the right play calling. 100%, bro. 100%. 100%. 100%. Robert Henry looked good. Yeah, so, listen. How long have we been on this one? I want to give it a little bit more time. I got a little bit more juice. If you guys got some comments, let me know. But yeah, not happy. Like, I'm just thinking about the game overall. I'm not happy about the way it went. And I think that we can't be losing against teams that we're better than. It's one of those things where it's like, right now we're desperate. And when I say that, I think I think it's pretty clear that we need donors. We need more money. I mean, just looking at what Coach Traylor said at the last fundraising event. What did he say? Write a check. He literally used those words, write a check. So if we're in that situation, I think every game matters. Like, what people don't realize is games like this decide where recruits are going to go. Houston and UTSA are going to 100% be competing with Texas athletes. And guess what Houston can say now? We beat UTSA in the first game of the season. We're up 3-1 on them in our head-to-head rivalry. Why would you want to go to the school that keeps losing? That fucking sucks. It is what it is. That's what it is. So, these games are all important. You can't sweep this under the rug. It's a big deal. Next week, we got a Texas State who's apparently transformed who they are. They beat Baylor 42-31. That's scary. Could you imagine we lose to Texas State? I have a fucking clip on YouTube and Twitter right now that they'd rip my ass for because me and Aeneas talked about how much Texas State they have a chance. We can't give them a chance. And not that I think they have more talent. I looked at who they brought in as recruits. I still think we're better. However, it doesn't mean that we're going to come in on that day or night in our best form, which I believe we won in our best form this week, which is why we lost. Let's go to Aiden Schwartz again. He got something that's going to be said. Do you feel like a problem is the new offensive coordinator? I don't know yet, but that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. 14 points is bullshit with that talent. 100%. Pressure's going to be on him. So, and him and Coach Traylor, quite frankly, because Traylor is a offensive-minded coach who does have input on what they run. Trust me, I know that. I think we should all know that. But like I'm telling you now, he has input on what's being ran in the offensive schematics because of some of the things that he prefers as a coach. Yeah, I don't know if it's a problem yet, but it's something I am keeping my eye on. I definitely have that in my notes. Good call out, Aiden. We're going to go back to Pioneer. I feel you. It was a tough, wrongful loss. I wanted that Big 12 win 100%, bro. Okay. Like, we can't be losing that, bro. We can't be losing. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, honestly. Like I said, I expected us to go 10-12. I just didn't expect this to be a loss. This one, no. Not this one. Houston, with a new QB, we gave him the win? Fuck out of here. Come on, man. I'm sorry. It's a frustrating thing for me. Period. Let's see. Couple more before I wrap up here. Let's check it out. Let's see. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. Huge thanks, man. Like, it is hard to get subscribers on this thing. 100%. But we're trying, and I want to do more of these. This is what I like. These are some of the things I want to do more. All right, we got more questions coming in. All right, so from Ronnie says, Coach said he was giving more control to Frank. Frank recognized he made some bad choices during RPOs. Can't happen. I don't give a shit what they say, quite frankly, Ronald Green. I don't care. They got to figure that shit out. We lost the game we should have won. That could be Traylor's mistake of giving the quarterback too much autonomy. That could be Frank's mistake for not being able to handle the autonomy and fucking up. Regardless, we can't have this result. We lost by 3 points to a team we should have beat by 14 points, in my honest opinion. Genuinely. I predicted a 38-24 victory. We were 14 points better than them. We didn't show it. And I don't care what anybody says about me being whatever. We didn't show it. It's just a fact. I'm going to go back to Aiden here. He says, I went to the game. I feel like we had a good crowd. Just unfortunate how we played offensively and good defense. Agree with you 100%. I seen it from the TV screen. Defense played well. Offense did not do the job. Let's see. We got a UH fan says we did suck. No lie there. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you know what? I can't even talk shit to you, CTB. Like, I can't be mad at it. I didn't think you guys played well. I don't think Houston's great. But guess what? Y'all did enough to beat us. We got to accept that. Y'all did enough to beat us. So, I don't appreciate any trolls, but like being objective here, we did not do enough to beat U of H in a game where we should have beat U of H. And I don't know if you think that we should have beat y'all, but we should have beat y'all. Bias aside, we were a better team. Let's go to Barrett Lewis here. He says Cardenas didn't get many touches. He's not going to get a ton of touches like that because of the position he plays, but I definitely think that we need to present him as a weapon. We can't have him just out there for no reason. He is a big-time player for the school, and yeah, we got to do better with making sure we get the ball 100%. Let's see. We got CTB says it's all on Frank, just missteps, just in INTs. Yeah, I am not one to put a ton of pressure on one person or one player. I think some of that is unfair to do, just to be honest. But he wasn't great tonight. Frank wasn't great. It was not one of his better games, especially against the team we should have beat. That's the part that burns me up. We should have beat Houston. And I don't mean this in any disrespectful way to Houston. Listen, my wife is from Houston. I don't I am okay with Houston having success, just not against UTSA. She went to UTSA also, but she's from Houston, so she has some ties to the Houston Cougars, but I don't know, weird. Anyway, so Pioneer says teams are playing desperate. Where was the Corian Clark? He's hurt. He is not back yet. Don't have any intricate details to what that is, but obviously the injury that he went out with last year, it's not healed fully, and they're taking precautions to make sure that when he does come back, he's 100%. So that's where he's at. I will look at the news as we approach these couple of weeks and see whenever he is going to be available. But I expect him to be available early this season. So it may not be this week, maybe not next week, but probably week 3 or 4. If we think about if we consider what I've heard anyway. All right, we got Aiden says, I agree totally on getting more players on the transfer portal 100%. Hey, the problem there, Aiden, though, let me speak to this. I have Farrah on here, Farrah Ahmed. She was on here, a great person. I appreciate her being here. And she's a freaking character on social media. So I'd advise you guys to if you guys are UTSA fans, to check her out. But anyway, we have to be better on the transfer portal side of things, 100%. We have to be better on that because I think that it's a huge opportunity for us to be able to steal some folks that wants to go to some of these bigger schools. Think about, like, at the end of the day, at these huge schools like Alabama, who get all the best recruits, they can only play 22 guys. They can play 11 on one side of the ball, 11 on the other side of the ball. You think there's not going to be some disgruntled guys that's in that 2 or 3 spot that have a ton of talent? Bring their asses over here. And think about it. There's a lot of time where the second and third guy are better than the first guy. But sometimes people underestimate politics in football. Politics is huge. And the way I see that is like, us at UTSA, we need to be in the market to scoop those guys up. That's what will make us transformative. Not that we don't have it now, but if we think about all of what the future looks like, we have to start making a dent there, and we haven't. And I'm not going to go in on the AD or anything like that. We've talked about the AD for a while. And this is not the forum to go in on any of that type of shit, but at the same time, it's like we need players. We need to buy players. We might as well turn it into football across the globe, soccer. You get an opportunity to buy people. We need to buy players. Period. We need to buy players. We need to, like, for example, what's going to happen with Frank when Frank leaves at the end of the season? Are we going to use a quarterback that's not proven, or are we going to go buy a quarterback? I think we should go buy one. Anyway, let me get back to the comments here. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. Let's see. We got, CTB again. He says, I think we will still be recovering, to be honest. I didn't expect him to be 100%. Okay. Michael Robertson, my guy. I'm hurt, dog, bro. I'm hurt, too. Bullshit. Complete bullshit. We shouldn't have lost that game. I'm trying not to be a negative Nancy and make people pissed off and not want to subscribe to the channel. But shit, that's not a game we should lose, bro. Not at all. Mike Robertson said, I will burn my degree if they lose next week. Hey, I might be with you. If we lose to Texas State, I don't give a shit how good they are right now. We cannot lose to them, okay? No. Unacceptable. Not happening. All right, we got Barrett Lewis says, should we be worried about our field kicker after one miss? I'm going to say no. Actually, I'll take that back. I need to see some consistency first. So, yes, I'm worried. And we probably should be. So, good call out, Barrett. Let's see. Mike says we pod. Then he says, hey, man, they just beat Baylor. They feeling like us in 2017. Maybe so. We'll see. Anyway, hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, I appreciate it. Please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I am genuinely trying to get to 500. I took some vacation over the last couple of weeks, so I wasn't able to push as hard, but getting to that 500 mark is huge. So if you guys could be so kind to like and subscribe to the video, that'd be great, and tell a friend if you can. Just last one from Ronald Green before we jump off of this. I'm sure our kicker will be kicking a lot this week. I hope that they are. I hope we're scoring a lot of touchdowns and we're kicking extra points. That's all I want. Either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like I said before, like and subscribe to the video. We're gonna be doing this every week, after the game, if I'm in town, and we're gonna go from there. So thank you guys again, and we are out. Make sure you guys follow Roadrunners Unfiltered on Twitter, so we can continue this dialogue. And we will definitely have another video in the week to get you guys ready for Texas State. See you guys. Peace.